What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing. What am I reviewing? I always got to think about it. I'm doing Ready to Love. But before I get started, as you can see, I'm not in my regular laboratory getting my videos together. I'm in the Shy. This is your boy J Dub, first time being in the Shy. I like the feeling. It's a good feeling. It is a thing. I've been moving and shaking around the city, and they do tell me some places that even your boy J Dub ain't supposed to go. I was just roaming and exploring. I ended up where Candyman was at, over in Cabrini Green and all that kind of stuff. But for those who are familiar with Chicago, please drop down in the comments any places or especially food places that you want me to go to, because I can't say a foodie, but I like to eat. That's what I say like that. I ain't no little guy. So, this is my first time in the city, and I'm super, super duper excited. And as I put in my little short reel video that I got to go see the statue of Michael Jordan, MJ all day, number 23. So I'm just out here living my dreams. I've been working hard and getting my real estate thing together. It was time for a little break, a little breather. I'm gonna get all the way back to what I'm doing so I can finish this real estate up. But had to take a break. So let's get started on the video for Ready to Love. This is the reunion part 2. It picked up where Precious was arguing with Laverne, and it was all about the conspiracy that Laverne stated that Precious gave him all the information on. And it was some type of, like a plan to just get Laverne out of here. But we come to really find out that Sabrina said Carmen was calling her, trying to really discuss, I guess, about getting Laverne out of there, because Carmen was trying to, break the couples up to try to make it a fair playing field for everybody else. But, Carmen denies it. She said that's not how it went down. But Ace brought a little bit clarity to the situation. It was saying that the information she gave Laverne, it didn't have any malice in it, like it was some type of conspiracy theory. It was just stating that Laverne was her strongest connection, and they were trying to move forward. But, it do sound all kind of messy. And even the corniest host in the world, Tommy, brought an excellent point up. He was like, it's more so like they're moving like high schoolers with he say, she say phone tag on, over about who likes who or who shouldn't be with who. And I couldn't agree more, because like I said, you wouldn't think these are 40-plus-year-old people moving the way they move. And it don't look like love is the, the highest priority in the situation. So we go, most of the people, I guess they got their little segments going on. And Demetrius, he had a segment, and it was showing, he's supposed to be the ladies' man, because that's how it really was coming off in the beginning of the show. Like, everybody was loving Demetrius. He was, quiet, laid back, well-dressed, the bald head, the beard, and dark skin, a whole bunch of checklists off of, ladies' boxes, because everybody was really into him. And Tina had spoke on him, and pretty much she kind of played a politically correct situation, because we seen when Tina went on a date with Demetrius, and she was more so, she had kind of put it out there that Demetrius reminded her of her ex, which was like a narcissist or toxic person or whatever. But now she's saying, oh, he's a cool dude, but just not for her. That should have really been brought up, because we did see that. And Sabrina, like I said, she said that Demetrius checked all the boxes. He was smooth, well-dressed, tall, the look that she was looking for. And she was just saying the way Demetrius moved, he was like, what'd he say? He would some kind of pimp line. He would he doesn't sweat you, he's gonna let you. I don't know if he fed her to her or she a pimp herself, but that's what it was. And Demetrius like, facts. That's how it is. So he don't sweat him. He let the ladies come to him, let them move high. They want to move, and then he'll pick them up. And we also found out that, because I felt like on the first part, or I guess at the end of the show, on the finale, Demetrius was almost begging Sabrina, like she already told you, like, hey, I don't want you no more, for whatever reasons. And he like, well, are you gonna leave this process, pretty much without me, or you could tell he wanted another chance, and he actually asked her for another chance after being rejected 2 and 3 times already. And Sabrina just left it at like, we really should just be friends. And after that, all contact stopped, and that's where the story ended. And that's funny, like how Demetrius, played coy, laid back the whole time, but ended up with nobody. The one he wanted ended up not wanting him, and that's how I kind of go. And yeah, I'm just over. I call him low energy Demetrius. It wasn't there. I guess it has worked in the past or whatever, but it couldn't work so much. He on a show called Ready to Love, unless he just ready for the exposure. So we go to my main man, PO segment. Everybody knows I've been like, if you will, I've been counting PO. I'm like, how this man even here? How he, like PO said, I guess something is true. He's the juggernaut. He gonna stay around. He gonna stick around. He gonna hang in there. He gonna do what he gotta do. And he made it to the end. And I really got on him about talking about, I'm going to choose myself. He like went around the way about of it. He could have put it another way where he could have just told the kid like, hey, we just really got in the process. It ain't really time for us, or we haven't had a strong enough connection to move forward. But they spoke on what everybody was always wondering about, like, how come P.O. didn't really stick it out for Precious? Because Precious was like his advocate. She was like telling everybody, without Precious being there, P.O. would not have been there. She fought for him to stay. And she felt like P.O. kind of like discarded her throughout the process, because she sure stood up for him, but he didn't stand up for her. He was like on the bandwagon of talking about like, she need to tone her thing down, or she ain't the one for. I mean, and I didn't disagree with him, but that was the lady fighting for him. So Precious was just saying like she felt Paul that he betrayed the friendship, and I didn't know they were that strong or friends, but I guess that's why she fought for him. And pretty much with we find like it's a, what do you call it, a common denominator in a situation where now we have a dispute with Carmen again, saying that P.O. really did tell her that he wasn't really feeling Auntie Dakir. Like I told you, P.O. like PYTs, not aunties. We got that part. But Paul was saying like he never said that to Carmen. And Carmen's like, well, that's what something a man would say. I didn't understand what that meant, but that's what a man would say, so she's not making it up. I really can't tell at this point who was telling the truth, because Paul gave like a lame explanation of it. It was saying, I mean, he started creating his word salad. I don't even know what he said. He was like, well, if I didn't say anything, then that means I said something to do so when I didn't have to. And Tommy was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this guy? Because it seemed like he was hiding something. However, I can't give Carmen any credibility because she keeps showing up in these arguments of he said, she said. So even if she's telling the truth, I'm siding with P.O. It ain't working. So, that was pretty much for, like I said, the P.O. segment. I was super surprised that he lasted to the end, but still almost, it seemed like he forced himself to try to make something with with Auntie Dakir to try to stay on the show. I mean, I don't know if it was a production thing, but I didn't see it at all, because even still, we learned that they even tried to reconnect after the show and found out what we already saw from the beginning, that they're just better off friends. There's no romantic connection with P.O. and Auntie Dakir, unless he want like a sweater knitted or something like that. And like I said, I saw P.O. at the comedy show, Bill Bellamy. He had a PYT. She was not no auntie. I'm going to tell you that right now. Looked like that would have been Auntie Dakir's daughter or something. Not? Okay. But let me go on. Let me not tell on P.O. so much. But who else I was really surprised by? Tina got a segment, and I didn't really understand that. But let me give Auntie Dakir credit. Now she has a boyfriend. Give Auntie Dakir. She found an uncle who she could be with, and it just sound funny when somebody 50 years old say, "Oh, I got me a boyfriend." I'm like, okay. But anyway, congratulations to Auntie Dakir. So we go to Tina. Tina Tina the friendly ghost, because that's what she do. She's a ghost. She didn't ghost everybody. She didn't ghost Tommy. She didn't ghost all the men on the process. And that's what she did. She was good with it. And Tina was pretty much saying, like, throughout the process, she kind of struggled with it because she's now dating 4 and 5 different guys, and really she wasn't feeling nobody. And I kind of got that. I first thought like she was kind of feeling PO because she was saying she liked older men. But I think that was just like a ploy to kind of have somebody to stay on the show or whatever. But ain't nothing really come about it. But what I can say, this is the first time we really hear Tina talking depth. But, you know, when she said talking depth, she said, you know, I don't want to go into debt. Like she going into debt. I'm like, oh my goodness. But then she back it up and tells him, well, you know, she made a claim that Paul asked her to self-eliminate herself. Like her wording, the way she talked, is something going on. It's something wrong. But Tina, she was like really telling and saying P.O. was doing it for the clout because he's bringing out a book. And P.O. was shocked, like, you know, like, y'all lying. But, like, P.O. keep getting caught up in these scandals or whatever. Now, I mean, P.O. put it out. He said, I'm an artist, but the only artistic thing I do is music. I don't even know nothing about no book. Now, if P.O. bring a book out, he gonna lose all credibility. But far as I can say right now, I'm down with P.O. in what he said. I believe him. But, you know, just like I said, the way Tina going, I just don't like the way she moving. And really, even when Tommy approached her and saying, like, you know, with that ghosting, don't you think that's like disrespectful and it's not, it deserves some accountability? And she like, well, no, it really don't. You know, I had to do what I had to do for myself. And that's one thing I cannot stand for someone who can't have accountability. And she had none. I guess she's brought up in a mindset or in her mind like it's okay to waste people's time or stand them up or disappear when you've made a commitment. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's like a juvenile mindset, but that's what it is. We in these days we come across a lot of people like that. You can't make them care about nothing. They barely care about themselves, so you expect them to care about you. That's not really how it works. So we go to the next segment. Who we got? We got Precious. And Precious, it kind of started out like really calmly. I actually like, opposite of Tina, I like how Precious expresses herself and how she was really bothered by being deemed a party girl. And where she get that from is when Demetrius kind of put that out there when Precious was like at the bottom too or whatever and called her like a party girl. And she made some great points because that, to me, that is a, let's say, I'll call it attack on your character, or you're coming for her in that manner. And nobody wants to nobody should be accepting that if that's not how it is. She's saying like, oh, because I'm social, you want to do that. However, throughout the show, Precious even came to Demetrius and pretty much said, I have to prove to you. I really didn't like that, but really where this reunion like kind of went left is when Demetrius kind of like tried to chastise Precious, and Precious wasn't going for that. I don't know if that triggered something with her daddy or some men talking crazy to her. Like I said, I was on Precious' side, but she got way, 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 way too emotional about the situation, and I guess it triggered her. And you know, she got to just go and get cussing Demetrius out or whatever, and just saying like, you know, you going to first try to talk crazy to me or talk down to me. You're not going to demean me or do nothing like that. But Demetrius tried to play crazy. That's a what do you call it? A form of gaslighting. He's like, oh no, what? I never said that, or where's this coming from? Why are you acting like this or whatever? Yeah, she was way too emotional. But yeah, he was challenging her character because he was kind of grouping his statement like from the guys. Oh yeah, all us guys believe you're just a party girl. And when really he was the one just saying that. But you know, she got to cussing him out and calling him all kind of names, and I think it was way over to the top. But she actually just walked off. But I wish she would have just stayed and like talked it out instead of getting so frustrated. So you know, we got to have an Auntie Dakir segment. and it really showed how much flirting she did with Paul Bunyan, Clifton. And I have to say, and I said this before, when I saw how Clifton was interacting with Dakir, I totally believe he led Auntie Dakir on. He was, he made her feel like she was still in the run or still in the race because she asked him. What more can you do if you ask a person and say like, hey, we still got something going on, and Clifton confirmed that. That's what you go on. So after the clips finished playing, Joyful Joy, and I'm not saying this in a good way, she has a little nasty way about her. She get to laugh and talking good editing. I can't even say it. Good editing. And she was just being petty in that moment, and I really didn't like that. And Clifton hit Dakir with you kind of saw what me and Joy had going on, so that was like implied. And I really hate, I got a pet peeve about that. Like, people believe that if something is so apparent, then that's what it is. Especially in this process. This process is supposed to be about you dating multiple people all at the same time within the same space. And until you make that decision, everybody's open. So now Clifton is going on like, hey, well, you saw what was going on, so that should have been enough. And the kid was like, no, that's not enough. And Joy was like, oh, well, why somebody owe you a courtesy? And why did she get into it? And Joy and Tommy kind of corrected Joy, but I don't know if they edited it that way or what. It was like, Joy, but allow her to keep talking, because really the conversation was between Auntie Dakir and Clifton the Big Red Flag. And the kid broke it down for me just perfectly. She said, she told Clifton, look, if you were no longer interested, you should have told me or ghosted me, not keep interacting with me. And I'm like, what else is there to believe? And that's, like I said, it's really people that believe like, well, I was acting different, then that should have been enough. No, nobody's a mind reader. And like I said, especially in this process, you're dating all the way to the end. So nobody should guess where you're at. If you still, what they say, working on a connection, that's what it should be. That's what it should be. But like I said, people move like that all the time. And Clifton, he even just kept making it worse. Like, did I have a discussion with you about going down the yellow brick road? And the kid like, what are you talking about? And then I just kept getting worse. Tom even jumped in, tried to, I guess, calm the situation down. Well, let me say this. Love is complicated, and as adults, we just got to move on. I'm like, boo, Tommy, you are whack for that. You supposed to gotten to ask some more questions and got things going, man. I mean, like, at what point do we start being able to communicate effectively? I know everything doesn't come with age, but we should be learning and progressing at some point. These people 50 years old almost. What's going on? It's like a show for 20-year-olds. I don't get it. And out of all the people, I really couldn't believe that Wiley got a segment. I don't know, because he's the son of the late great godfather of Go-Go Chuck Brown or whatever, but it really wasn't nothing going on over there. It's just like, what? Wiley felt dismissed because, yes, he was out of place. He's in his early 30s. And he's a bunch of mid-40, 50-year-old people ready to love Senior Edition. He didn't belong there. So, of course, he's going to feel out of place. But we do learn that Wiley actually has a connection with Tiffany. So they're dating after the show. So hopefully that works out for them. So pretty much to close the show out, we see Clifton, the Big Red Flag, and Joyful Joy. They talking about their magical, mystical love connection that I don't see. Everybody, I see all the YouTubers and the people. We're really hoping the best. We're hoping the best for Joy and Clifton. Send blessings to them. All that, man. That ain't about nothing. That ain't about nothing. But I gotta realize, people in real life don't think like me. People have different expectations and different standards in life. I mean, I'm like, okay, Joy made the adjustment where she's scaling back her 6 month visits to Mexico for her career or whatever. But, you know, he's been committed to the process. He's been going out there every other weekend. I guess that's when he doesn't have his 3-year-old son and he visits Joy on the opposite weekend. So I guess he's showing that he's very serious about that. And of course, he get to stay in the room with her for free. You know, she booked on a resort. That's fine. That works out. But I'm like, I see that Clifton is always all in, and I get it. It's okay. I'm thinking like this guy is very serious about Joy. He's on the theory of it don't take all day to recognize sunshine. Joy is the one. That's who we want to be with, and he's all in. And I would say at this point now I'm thinking Clifton get ready to break it down. Like he ain't wasting no time. He ready to get married to Joy. She is the one. Let's lock it down. Joy already talking about, hey, we planning a baby for, I guess, to be born in March or something. And I'm like, whoa, what? Clifton his son need a sibling before he turned 5? But no. Clifton, the big red flag, get down on one knee and present a key to his house, not a ring. So now they could plan to have a baby in 9 months or whatever and do all that. No ring, no commitment, and Joy is happy with that. So I'm thinking like, y'all knocking on 50-year-old doors, but it ain't time to get married, but you're ready to have a baby. And you ready, to move in, or Joy can come and go as she please? Like, that's what I call low expectations. Like, y'all haven't learned from your age 20 up till 45 years old that, like, just taking or selling less. Because what happens if it don't work out? Joy's left with a baby and she damn near 50 years old? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? It's ridiculous. But guess what? I can't get that invested. I can't get that mad. If some people say, that's okay. Everybody doesn't believe in marriage. Everybody does things differently. So I got to pull myself out of it. But I think it's just quite ridiculous to show people what they deem is such a wonderful thing, or like that's what you should shoot for. That's whack to me. That's whack. But I'm going to get off that. I guess pretty much, yeah, that was it. It wasn't nothing. Clifton proposed the key to the top lock or whatever. He can lock out with the bottom lock. I don't know. But I didn't see Donovan and Carmen's connection. Not that I did, but I was just surprised. Maybe we couldn't have gave Wiley his own segment or something like that and put them in there. I just wanted to see it. I want to see what they talk about. I want to see, the fake plane ticket or how they progressing or something. But even Donovan had to, I guess, interject, because if not, they would have never even spoke. Donovan told me, well, I'm just want to thank for the process. He done found his queen. I don't even know what he said because it didn't even matter, but that's what it was. So that was it. The reunion it seemed like it just flew by. It wasn't much to it. It just felt rushed and a whole lot of commercials. I'm glad it's over because it felt like really this is a whole season from Ready to Love DC, because I call this Potomac, the B Team, the Rejects, or whatever the case may be from Ready to Love DC. And I'm glad it's over, and hopefully they give us some time to decompress from this Ready to Love foolishness. And that's about it. So as I said, I thank y'all. Appreciate you for y'all patience. I'm not in my studio if my lighting ain't right or whatever the case may be. I did my best. I tried to give you the Chicago skyline, and that was it. So drop down in the comments. Tell me what you thought. I felt the review was rushed. I missed something. Throw something in there. Let me know what's going on until I can get to what it was supposed to be next. Put a ring on it. All right. And as I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.